Welcome or welcome back to the third day, the third part in my Getting Better Day by Day series. Today's class will start by lying on the back, so please, if you would like to join me, come to lie on your back. And as always, take a minute to arrive on your back, to let yourself sink to the floor. And then stand both of your feet with your right hand. Bring your right hand behind your head to support your head, to lift your head, and with your left hand grab your right knee. So bring your right knee closer to your chest, and then lift your head with the help of your right arm to bring your right elbow closer towards your right knee, or vice versa, your right knee closer towards your right elbow. And see how that works, how that feels. Where is it tight? Where is it easy? Where is movement available? Where do you press against? So, important concept, important question. Where do you press against the floor in order to be able to lift your head and bring your right knee closer to your right elbow? And then bring your left hand to your left knee. And try the same movement to bring your right elbow towards your left knee. So you're crossing midline. Your right elbow, you lift your head in order to bring your right elbow towards your left knee. Ever so gentle, a gentle movement. Where do you hold your leg? How do you hold your leg? What's your movement quality? And then change over the hands that hold the head. So bring your left hand behind your head and your right hand onto your left knee. And again, just see how it works. An assessment, an experiment. Just see how it is today to lift your head with the help of your left hand to touch your left elbow towards your left knee. Which pathways do you choose? How do you support that movement with your other leg? How do you roll to one side maybe? And then also the last combination of those four with your right hand on your right knee and lift your head with the help of your left arm to touch or to bring your left elbow towards your right knee. So a little assessment in the beginning to see how this will change over the course of this session today. And then take a short rest and feel how you feel. Were you able to bring them close together? Was it very easy, the movement, or was it easy, the feeling, the things you were sensing and perceiving, the information you were gathering? And now just rest on your back. In the aftermath of these few movements we just did, which was a little bit of a side bending and a little bit of crossing the midline. For a baby, a difficult coordination exercise. For a grown-up person, of course, not so much. And then stand your right foot. Keep your left leg long, stand your right foot. And start to press your right foot against the floor. So feel the sole of your right foot. Where does your right foot stand on the floor? How close to your pelvis? How close to your left leg, or how far away? Where's a good place to stand your right foot to press against the floor. And then find a place for your right foot and a way to push with your right foot so that the push rolls the pelvis towards your left shoulder. The tip of your left shoulder or your left shoulder blade. And so you can feel this rolling of your pelvis in the middle of your back, leaning or pressing against the floor. And try this with your left leg long, resting on the floor, or your left leg standing, or your left foot standing, so that both your feet are standing, but you press only with your right foot towards your left shoulder. And try to sense, to feel if the position of your left leg has any influence on this motion, on this movement. And then bring your left hand behind your head to support the lifting of your head, and with the help of your left arm, lift your head to look towards the right hip joint. So try this a couple of times to feel how you need to align your left arm, your left elbow. Where does your left elbow need to point in order to support your head, to lift your head, to peel off your left shoulder from the floor. So you're crossing midline, you're bending forwards, but towards your right hip joint, towards your right foot. Take your time in doing this to explore this movement. And then actually we will tighten it up a little bit. So take a short rest. And then again, place your left hand behind your head, but this time turn your head to the right so that your right ear or your right cheek is resting in your left hand. So your face is turned, your head is turned to the right, and your right ear is resting in your left hand. And then again, lift your head. So you peel off the left shoulder off the floor. Your left upper part peels off and orients itself. Orient. The orientation is towards your right hip joint. And at the same time, press with your right foot, just what we did a minute ago. Press with your right foot to roll your pelvis towards your left shoulder, to orient your pelvis towards your left shoulder. So your left shoulder rolls towards your right hip joint, and your right hip joint rolls towards your left shoulder. Yes, did you find this relationship between the rolling of the pelvis up to the left and your left shoulder rolling down to the right? With your head turned more or less to the right. Now, instead of pushing with your right foot, get hold of your right knee with your right hand. So your right foot is off the floor, your right knee is closer to your chest, you're holding your right knee with your right hand, And then try the same movement again to bring your left elbow towards your right knee, or your right knee towards your left elbow, and maybe have your left foot standing. And see how it is to roll the pelvis towards the left shoulder without the help of the leg, with the right foot off the floor. All right, and then take a short rest. And feel how you rest now on the floor with your legs, the legs that can push against the floor, the legs that can move the pelvis, the legs that are attached to the pelvis for some reason. Why are the legs and the pelvis grown together? What is the reason we have legs? Okay, and then stand your left foot. And again, find a good place to push the floor with your left foot, so you can roll your pelvis. And it depends on where is your heel, your forefoot, in which direction do you turn your toes, how close do you have your left foot to your pelvis or to your right leg, or how far away. What supports the motion of rolling your pelvis, to use your leg, your left leg, to push the floor, to roll your pelvis towards your right shoulder. Direct a push that little by little, ever so gently, rolls your pelvis upwards, so you can feel the pressure in your back and up towards your right shoulder. And then bring your right hand behind your head to lift your head, to peel off the right shoulder from the floor and to roll your right shoulder towards your left hip joint. Or turn your head a little bit to the left so that your left ear is in your right hand. And again, you can find this diagonal relationship of your right shoulder and your left hip joint, or the left side of your pelvis. The push of your left leg rolls the pelvis up towards your right shoulder, and the lifting of the head lifts your right shoulder. So try to feel this line of support, of pressing against the floor in your back, across your back, from your left hip joint up to your right shoulder, or from your right shoulder down to your left hip joint. Try the same thing when you have your right foot standing instead of your right leg long. Or try the same thing with your left foot off the floor, so that you hold your left knee with your left hand. How is it when you cannot roll the pelvis with the help of your foot or the help of your leg? Or how is it when your left foot is standing on the floor and you can press against the floor? What's the difference in your sensation, in your feeling, in the efficiency of the movement, in the movement itself? But these are all questions I ask. I hope you can find your own questions and make your own connections with these movements. And then let go again. Extend your legs again. Take a short rest and feel how you're resting now on the floor. Then bring your feet to stand. And bring your right arm overhead on the floor to rest on the floor overhead. And lift your head without the help of the arm. Let the arm rest on the floor above the head and lift your head towards maybe your left hip joint, to look at your left hip joint or your left foot. And then lift your head together with your right arm. See how it is to lift the long right arm and the head. Or how is it when you leave your right arm behind on the floor and you only move your head, you only lift your head. And instead of lifting your head in the exact midline, come a little bit to the left, so your nose is pointing more to the left knee. Yes, see, maybe that's easier than to try to lift in the exact middle. Make a little swing to the left, a little curve to the left. Or maybe with your left hand, hold your left knee when you lift your head and your arm, or only your head. Why are we doing this? To break up the relationship between the arm and the head, to make them move independent from each other. But that's only my answer to my question. What are you making of this little movement story? Then change over your arms. Bring your left arm up on the floor. And of course, this time you have a little swing to the right. So you lift your head with or without the arm, the long extended arm. Then bring down your left arm again, take a short rest. And we will do the same thing with both arms. So stand both feet, bring both arms overhead, and see how it is to lift the head without the arms or with the arms. To press with one foot or to press with the other foot or with both feet, to roll the pelvis up towards one shoulder or both shoulders, or to lift the head or lift the arms in the midline or towards one side. And then extend your legs again, your arms again, and take a rest on your back. And see how you rest now, how that feels now. Feel how you can breathe, how available is your chest for breathing, for expanding and contracting. Under your armpits, in the upper part, in your back. How has your perception of your chest changed, of your arms, your legs? And then let's do the first movement one last time for reference. So stand your both legs, stand both feet, bring your right hand behind your head, and with your left hand grab, for example, your left knee and bring your left knee towards your right elbow. And the other way around, or with your left hand hold your right knee. And see how that feels now at the end of this short lesson. How this has changed, how you can feel where is it you lean against on the floor. Which part of your chest presses against the floor when you lift your head or change over your arms? So lift your head with your left hand. And feel how your spine can bend, how your pelvis connects to your neck, to the lifting of your head, how your feet can support your pelvis in rolling backwards. So play with these movements, always with the focus of your sensations, your experience. That's the important part, not the repetitions and not how flexible you are in the end, but how much can you feel, perceive, how can you put things together, what can you make sense of. And how do you rest in the end? Now, as always, we need to come up to stand and face the world in standing, see how it feels in standing. So please roll over one side and come to sit and then to stand up. As always, it was my pleasure to spend the time with you, to present you these movements, to lead you through this movement sequence. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support, and see you in the next video.